Hello guys, it is Coach Glina. So today we're going to have a practical section. Yes. So today is all about the paint business pyramid. Yes, paint manufacturing business is not all about production, and this is where a lot of people get it wrong. You understand? If you're not climbing this pyramid, you are stuck making dust, and while others build empires with paint, you understand? You're going to stay broke. So this video is for anyone tired of buying paint, product, and dreaming of making their own. It is for hustlers, dreamers, and self-starters who want to escape low income and build a paint brand that commands attention and cash. You understand? So if you're just starting, the best mode right now is to join our paintpreneur Telegram group. You will connect with others like you, ask questions, and start learning for free. The link is going to be in the description. So let's face it, if you probably wasted money on paint products that don't sell, or they are worse, you understand, on the paint, like the paint cracks, fade, or get ruined by angry customers, and when you try to sell, no one is buying. Oh, that's that's annoying. Now imagine this: you produce a perfect matte or satin finish that glows on wall. Client says, "Whoa," and pay you more than any store brand. You understand? Any store brand paint, and you sell out every month. You understand? I was just like you, watching free videos, googling chemicals name and messing up badges until I figure out the system I call it the paint business pyramid, and it changed everything. So let me walk you through it step by step. You understand? So the pyramid has 5 levels, which are the level 1, formulation; level 2, branding; level 3, marketing; level 4, production; level 5, sales domination. You understand? So we're going to be explaining all these 5 levels for better understanding. So let's quickly talk about level 1, which is the formulation. You understand? Formulation without a solid formula, you are gambling. I have to be honest with you. You must master how to mix water-based paint or oil-based paint, texture paint, and most other paint correctly. You cannot gamble with formulation, please. No matter what you think you know about the chemicals. You understand, like I said, so don't be like all these other people that just go and keep watching and consuming a lot of videos, and then they go and produce this paint without the right formulation, without the measurement and every other thing when it comes to production process. You understand? So we move over to level 2, branding. Oh, my students are aware of this. I cannot over exaggerate with this branding. You understand? So branding. So let me simply say, a good product without branding is invisible. Very invisible. Yes, you need a name, you need labels, color, psychology, and packaging that speaks with power. Yes, okay. You see a lot of products in the market. Will somebody just sell you something like this? This is nothing. You can't even buy this. But when you see the name, marker whiteboard, the next thing you're going to do is to look at the company name. So that is why branding is very, very important when it comes to the paint business pyramid, and it's in level 2. So you have to learn branding properly. My students know I talk about branding, I teach them about branding, and it's very, very essential. So move over to number 3, marketing. Can any business survive without marketing? It's impossible. And a lot of paint manufacturers, they think you only need to learn how to produce paint. What about marketing? By the time you finish learning how to produce this paint, who's going to buy it from you? You understand? So even a great paint doesn't sell itself. It doesn't. You understand? So you must create demands, social proof, testimonies, and you have to join community group, and irresistible offer. So how do you go about marketing your product as a new paint manufacturer that a lot of people don't know you? You understand? So this is what I teach my students. You understand? In my courses, I teach them how to market their product, how to get that first testimonial. And you cannot market yourself without having a brand. So because what do you want to market? You tell somebody that this is my product and there is no name attached to it. They don't even know this product. So what do you want to market to people to buy from you? You understand? So you see each level's linked to the other level. You understand? So we'll go over to level 4, production. Wow. You understand? So systemize your mixing. It's very important. You understand? Measuring, badging, storaging, so you won't just be producing. You understand? You have to learn how to measure these chemicals, batch them in a place, you understand, and of course how to scale. It's very important, you understand. So you're going to be producing at a scale level, not knowing how to calculate your chemicals properly, not knowing how to batch them, measure them, simply means you're not a manufacturer. Aside being a paint manufacturer, or those that want to become a paint manufacturer, if you're a baker, of course you have to measure your flour, you have to measure other chemicals, because see, that measurement is your money. The calculation is your money. So calculating your chemicals properly in the production process simply determines if you're going to make profit or you're going to lose, or you're just wasting your time as a paint manufacturer. So we'll move over to level 5, the sales domination. Very important, you understand? So here is it. 90% fail. Yes, 90% of paint manufacturers fail. And why is that? You must master closing deals, building partnership with builders. You have to look for them, you understand? Builders, and of course offering services beyond the bucket. When I mean offering services beyond the bucket, simply means educating whoever you want to sell your product to. Let them know what they're about to buy from you. You just don't take your sample or you take your paint product and reach out to builders, stores. You must simply explain to them why it's important to buy your paint, what your paint stands, or rather what their wall stands to benefit if your paint is being applied on the building. You understand? So now, if you already started experimenting with paint or taking some of my tips before, it is time to go deeper. Yes, and of course you can watch my free training. The video is going to be on the description, so you go and check for the related video in the description, you understand, and watch the free training for some of us that want to have a proper knowledge on how to start a paint manufacturing business, you understand. So that video is well equipped to direct you on the necessary step you need to take, you understand. So here is something to act on today, you understand. So pick one of these 5 paint business pyramid, you understand. Pick one of them, you understand, or rather pick one of the level and rate yourself 1 to 10. You understand? The one with the lowest score, that is where you need to focus this week. You understand? That is how you climb the paint business pyramid. You understand? Now, if you already know this, you understand, you already have a proper knowledge on how to go about your paint manufacturing, or you don't even have a proper knowledge on how to go about your paint or manufacturing, you understand, or you're just waiting for the right moment, it is now time for you to go fully or deeper to learn how to become a successful paint manufacturer. Not just how to produce paint, but become a successful paint manufacturer. That is to say, learning the production process, marketing process, branding process, selling process. And the beautiful part is building a mini factory. You can start a paint manufacturing business without huge capital from your home, wherever you are. You start with a mini factory and scale up, you understand, to build a successful large factory. And this is what I teach my students in several courses, you understand? I take them from the zero level down to the hero level, you understand? Like educating them from being confused on how to go about formulation, branding, marketing, and the worst part again is how to communicate with the customer, because a lot of paint manufacturer froze. In fact, without educating yourself properly makes you miss out on getting huge contracts to show your professionalism of being a paint manufacturer. It's not about coming to YouTube and watch me on how I teach you how to produce different types of paint. How educated are you to show out to the world that you can actually deliver a professional paint, or you can actually build a successful paint brand even while you're sleeping? You see, in the paint CEO accelerator course, I teach my students from how to become a CEO. You understand? Rather being a hustler. There are two different things. And the hustler mindset is where you go about producing, marketing, and selling. Why the CEO mindset is all about strategy. Having a strategy that is going to guide you on how to become a successful paint manufacturer, that you can still be selling your product time to time, day to day, month to month. Do you understand? So if you're serious about starting a successful paint manufacturing business from scratch, or even if you are a paint manufacturer and you want to scale up, then go to the description and click the link below, and I'll meet you in class. So bye for now.